Hey everyone, it's Lady Raven, the Wild Witch, and I wanted to apologize that I didn't do a reading for the last 2 weeks, and that's because I was away at the fire dance. The first week I was preparing for it, and then this past week I was recovering from it. If you want more information about the fire dance, feel free to message me. I'll send you the links. It was an amazing experience. It was led by Chief Brandy Wynn this time. And there's fire dances that are danced all over the world. I went to the one here in North Carolina, but there is one coming up in Norway. There will be a fire dance in Ireland on Lunasad, which would be amazing. And then there's going to be one in South Africa next March of next year, which I will more than likely attend. So it was an amazing experience, very transformative, very life-changing, and I highly recommend if it's something you feel called to. You don't have to dance. If you want to go and participate, you can serve as part of the crew, but it's a beautiful 3-day ceremony. And so when I got back, I had a lot to unpack. And so I apologize for not having that. So starting with our reading for this week, let's look at, I looked at our calendar of events, and I looked at our what the celestial bodies are doing for this week. And it's basically, there's nothing like really that pops out at me. You still have Pluto being in retrograde in Aquarius left over from last week. So that energy, there shouldn't be anything new. So the card deck that we're going to be using for the month of May is this one right here. It is called The Magic of You Oracle, Unlock Your Hidden Truths by Fiona Horn. It's a beautiful deck, and you hear me saying this all the time. It's a beautiful deck. Everything is a beautiful deck. And so today I meditated, and I decided, to figure out which tools wanted to come and sit with me at this table for the reading. And the piece that came was my beautiful dragon companion here, Armand. Armand is all about the internal healing that we do. He is all about that personal struggle, that shadow work that we're doing. So this is kind of the energy that he is bringing into that table, which is a lot of inner work, understanding and connecting with the deep soul of who we are, and our own authenticity. And this piece here, which came to me also, is a beautiful piece that was given to me by my very good friend, Mambo Juju, and she lives up in Indiana. She is a voodoo mambo, an amazing, amazing woman. And she gave this to me. She gifted this to me several years ago. And for some reason, this wanted to come in here today and sit with us. And I think that part of the reason why it's here, it's kind of trying to tell you that you have control of your own future. You can chart your own future. So if you are somebody who feels like you've had a bad string of luck lately, if you've had things coming your way that you're like, where's all this crap coming from? Maybe this week it's time to take kind of like an internal look and see. So I'm going to take my deck here, shuffle a little bit. I already shuffled it a little bit, but I'll shuffle a little bit more so you guys can see the shuffling. And let's see. Dropping cards all over the place. Let's see what we pull. So this is the card that I'm pulling for our House of Obstacles. And this is the card that I'm pulling for our House of Opportunities for this week. So let's take a minute and see what this is. So this card here for the House of Obstacles, these are the things that are maybe standing in our way. You can see, try to give you guys a little bit of a close-up. This is Orenda, Honor Your Mystical Creative Force. And for me, anytime I see a snake on a card, and you see how it's the snake actually is part of her braid becomes a snake. Anytime I see that on a card, for me, it makes me think of inner work, right? The snake shedding its skin, the snake kind of looking at, to be able to have some new shiny skin, you have to shed the old one. And the old one, when it comes time to shedding, I don't know, I have a snake and I, get to watch her do that. I'm blessed to be able to see that. every month. But for those of you who don't know, who don't have snakes, they get very uncomfortable in that old skin. And until that old skin sheds, it restricts their ability to see. It restricts their ability to move. And so until she completely sheds, she's normally very quiet, sitting within herself. So this is talking about that. You have all of this red here, which really to me speaks of the divine feminine, right? So to me, this almost looks like the card of Lilith, which is the card of that divine feminine, sacred personal power. So the obstacle here, this card coming in the house of obstacles, I would say, what are the parts of you that need to be shed, that you are not releasing right now? Because there's some of that going on. And these things that you are unable to release are actually standing in the way of your own power. So the obstacle for you this week is you. And I'm going to even take it a step further and say probably fear. You may not be releasing these things because maybe you were afraid of what's going to happen when you do. You're afraid you may lose some friends when you do. You are afraid that you may not have the support that you think you need. And I think one of the things to really focus on is these things are restricting you. So no matter what your fear is on the other side, it ultimately will be better than what it is that you have right now, because right now you're restricted. And the minute you release those things, you will not be restricted and you'll be able to kind of move forward to where you want to go. So it's a very important card of going within, connecting with your own personal power, and finally releasing those things, shedding those things that are no longer needed. All this blood around her makes me think of the monthly menses, right? It's that thing that is not needed, that's being shed, that part of the divine feminine that says, you've done your job, you supported me when I needed to, I no longer need you, now you need to go. If it doesn't come out, it can cause problems. And this is kind of what this card is warning about. Be careful of the problems that are being caused because you are unable to release something that needs to be released. So that is the obstacle for this week. So opportunities. So this is actually kind of a cool card. The Buho, transform the way that you see. And you can see a woman is sitting, she's holding two moths, butterfly type moths, actually. Oh, maybe butterflies, I don't know, in her eyes. And they basically transform her eyes. And she's kind of in a very nice place. And you can see there's these butterflies or moths like all around her. She's wearing white. She's very calm. She's very relaxed. And to me, this talks about peeking in and looking into the other side. So this talks about looking at the things in your life right now, almost with a magical eye. Look at it with the eyes of spirit almost. The things there, either good or bad, they are there in a way to support you in some way, either to teach you a lesson or in order to support you and help you to grow. And because you are not looking at it through those eyes, you're not seeing it. You kind of have a picture and an image of what your expectation is. And if it's not fitting that expectation, you're considering that a failure. So it's not a failure. This is talking about just a change in perspective. Change the way that you're looking at the things right now that seem to be keeping you from moving forward. And you're going to find lots of opportunities there that you may not necessarily be aware that they were there before. So very interesting card for you to kind of keep an eye on this week. I also wanted to tell you about tonight we are going to have the chakra balancing. So it is a free event that you can join me on on Zoom. The information is at thewildcommunity.com. You can log in there and get the Zoom information. And also this afternoon, I will be going live at 3 o'clock to talk to you about the root chakra. So I hope to see you all later today. And I hope that this reading is very helpful for you. And I send you lots and lots of blessings right now. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.